tonight's entertainment. I only have one question.
Tell me the difference between Star Wars and Star Trek in a sentence.
One has green lasers and one has red lasers.
You make me sick.
Star Wars is the biggest thing in nerd culture right now.
Let's go Star Trek.
It's time for the nerdiest show on the internet.
I know. I checked online.
I'm not sure if anybody has some words to describe the legend that is Kevin Lewis at this time.
A piece of human garbage.
Leave your stupid comments in your pocket.
You're listening to Boyz to Nerdz. And now, here's your host, Kevin Lewis.
What is going on? Kevin Lewis here. Welcome to Boyz to Nerdz. We're back for, actually, the season finale of Boyz to Nerdz. Season 1 has been great. We put out 6 to 7 episodes of content. And why don't we just go around the room and just introduce who we have here? We have Brian.
Let Brian host.
We have Gerald.
The Godfather's here.
We have Steve, as always.
I suppose.
And then, of course, there's this pile of garbage.
Please don't comb me off in the season finale.
Now, like I said, it's the season finale. We're excited to be here. We got some good stuff.
Big things.
Big thing I first want to take time to do at the very beginning is to introduce a special guest nerd. He's right in front of me. He's probably the handsomest man, at least that I'm looking at right now. Yep. You know, in comparison to Mark. You know,
I would like to point out that I'm out of the parade.
I don't.
He's staring at me right now.
I don't want to single anybody out, but
have you passed your genetics on to anyone yet?
So, Nick, thank you for taking such wonderful time to be here with me. Damn glad to have you. Why don't you stop clapping, Mark? Why don't we take a time, let everybody know, a little bit about yourself, the interesting stuff, not the boring stuff.
Okay, so you want me to skip the wife and kids?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm sitting at home. I have Xbox, PS4, big into the game scene, big into the comic scene, big fan of the popular movies of the summer. Yep. Just classic nerd story. And I found love. You can endure it. You can overcome all of these problems that we have as nerds. And I like to think of myself as a success story.
In fact, Nick was a little bit late today because he had to change a diaper.
That is
something probably none of us will ever do.
Secretly, he was playing Rocket League.
That's true. I don't know if anybody remembers, but it's not necessarily a rule. It was just strongly implied I'm not within 100 yards of any school and or children.
No, that is a law here in the city of Rochester.
So, long story short, we're here again. Season finale. We're going to come back better than ever. We're going to regroup. We're going to convince Brian to not blow his brains out.
I've already ripped up my contract.
Exactly. But
he had a contract?
I'm here for free.
Suck it, Gerald.
I don't want him to think that we're paying him with money. We just pay him with Legos.
I left that off my resume.
Very similar to a 5-year-old's allowance.
Wait, he gets Legos?
Shut up, Mark.
See?
I'll do this for cookies.
So I do want to take this moment to kind of transition a little bit. Here's the deal. We do these games. People have been killing me because I haven't done so well. How many would you say we've done? 5, 6,
we have
7?
Done 6 games.
A couple.
Games. I haven't yet quite won one until, I don't know, last month when nobody had faith in me, and we did Batman, Superman, trivia. And I not only won, but I wiped the floor with a certain individual. But we'll save that. Certain individuals, Team you. Mark, Team Brian.
Sorry, Brian.
The only Team Gerald and Team Kevin were, a great thing when it was when times were good.
Yep.
I do want to point out
we
that,
worked well together.
I'm a little upset right now. The bottom line is, I think you're were a jerk to me. You didn't have any confidence in me. You didn't believe in me. You never even gave me a chance. It was Team Gerald, not Team Kevin and Gerald. Team Gerald.
I think you're remembering that wrong.
Why don't you roll the evidence so I can see it with my eyes?
All right.
Time out. Who would you say the strong link in my team is for this game? It would be me.
It's obviously Gerald.
Is it today opposite day or what?
We've had the same amount.
I don't know, Gerald.
Sounds like Gerald thinks that he put forth just as much.
I'm sorry. But bottom line is, Gerald, that as you could see, I'm a victim. And we live in a culture where it is not okay to just be jerks to people. So I just want to let you know, buddy, anything we had in the past, it's done now. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I'm sorry.
Hey, guys, is this a civil war right now?
Shut up, Mark.
I see what you did there.
I stand by what I said.
I made a
Got him
reference.
So we do, but I do want to hone in the fact that Mark and Brian lost.
Damn it.
To nobody's surprise.
Really?
And we do have a punishment for him. We're going to get that out of the way earlier. Steve, why don't you explain it?
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a game within the punishment so that there will be a punishment within the punishment. What we're going to do
That sounds
is
complicated.
Inception.
Yeah,
we have,
I was just
we
thinking
have
that.
provided both of you two with your dinner for tonight.
Yeah, I hope nobody has plans at
I-
Wendy's later.
I had plans, but
It is a tasty dinner, so you don't have to worry about Gerald's craziness with putting sardines in your drink.
By the way, that was all Gerald. I had nothing to do with that.
Oh,
was a
yeah.
nightmare.
No,
Thanks,
I didn't
Gerald.
get a text message or anything.
damn it.
Unless you can prove it.
I have it
So
on my phone.
we have provided you guys each with a bag of donuts, powdered donut holes from Little Debbie, as
Okay.
well as a quart of chocolate milk. Now, the punishment is you two both have to race to finish your half a gallon or half gallon, a quarter of milk, as well as your bag of donuts, and the loser will be ultimately punished after our episode tonight. So
Yeah, we're not going to show it on the show today, but we will do it in a future time. What are you going to complain about this time, Mark?
I have plans later.
I'm sorry. You lost.
Damn it.
Bottom line.
I will not be drinking the milk, but I will eat the donuts.
Why?
Are you lactose intolerant?
Can I have
am.
his milk?
I
I'm lactose intolerant too, but I
I
love milk.
specifically asked you if you had any food allergies.
And that's what I told you.
Oh.
Get him a lactate.
Chocolate
I
pill.
said
almond
I will
milk.
eat anything except
Fine,
milk.
fine.
I'm
And
supposed to have
No,
Chipotle
I will
later.
have the donuts.
for the sake of fairness,
Damn it.
because since it is a medical condition, so he says, why don't we just do the donuts? You can choose to drink the milk if you want to wash it down, but I think for the sake of fairness, and so he doesn't have massive diarrhea lately.
I have a
later.
medical allergy to donuts.
And
I guess-
I have a physical ailment in my brain right now, and it's very, very coincidental that it's the same time you're talking on the microphone.
Really?
I guess if Brian loses the challenge, then he
You know what
has
we-
to chug the milk.
Gerald, you're a sick son of a...
you know what we should do is because Kevin messed this up, he should be punished.
I messed this up. I specifically asked. I'm
I'm
sorry,
okay with
I
that.
can't remember things that happened 2 months ago. I didn't pick the challenge. I just want to put that out there. I thought it was a stupid idea.
All I'm saying is that I specifically
No.
forewarned the challenger that I did have a medical condition.
Okay.
It's very serious.
It's fine. We don't have to do the milk. Stop bitching.
I'm lactose intolerant too, and I just took a couple swigs of this. We're on the clock now because
you.
this is gonna end badly.
All right. So why don't see? Here's what I wish we had done. I wish we had poured the donuts out so we had an idea of what everybody has. Therefore, it would make it easier to keep track of how many people have eaten.
Isn't it just,
That's a race either way.
Yeah, isn't it just whoever's first to finish?
Yeah,
the
but
thing?
what if Little Debbie's? God forbid they make a mistake.
relax.
Don't you speak ill of Little Debbie.
How dare you? They just came back from bankruptcy, or was that Hostess?
You're thinking of
Let me ask you. I don't want to get too far off, but let me ask you a question. How does a company make a big fuss, being like, "We don't have no more money. We're going out of business. You'll never see another Twinkie again," to suddenly reappear within 3 years? How does that happen?
It was a marketing stunt. Did you see Zombieland?
I saw
They capitalized on that.
Snowballs. All right. So we started the challenge. You guys are eating it, but now with this being said, I do want to go ahead and introduce today's top. I'm sorry, people are staring at me really awkwardly. It's very awkward. I do want to go ahead and introduce some topics. So, with that being said, I know Civil War is coming out soon. Guy, you don't have. Are you guys rushing? I mean, you can take your time.
You guys said it was a race.
It
is a race.
It is a race. But if Mark's eating one at a time and you're just
Don't worry about what I'm doing.
I have plans later, so I might lose.
Mark, have you ever willingly participated in anything like ever? So next, we're getting really
good.
very, 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 very close to Game of Thrones. I think you're a Game of Thrones fan based on the shirt that you're wearing, Gerald.
Yes.
If you had to rank yourself on a 1 to 10 scale of how well you know Game of Thrones, what would you rank yourself?
24.
Okay. Steve is a big Game of Thrones fan.
I am.
Nick watches TV.
I do, and I play the video games. You always discredit the video games.
I never said you watch Game of Thrones. I just said you watch TV.
See what he did there?
And Mark, again, you're just here.
Yeah.
Brian literally doesn't even know what Game of Thrones is.
Yeah.
Is it a chess
I've
game?
tried multiple times to get asked off this podcast.
With
Is it a Steven Spielberg movie?
with the new season, with the return of the new season, I think it's a great time to kind of, this is going to be spoilers. So if you're kind of under a rock and not paying attention to Game of Thrones, turn away. It's not the time to be listening. But last season, why don't we touch base on some of the big characters quickly? I don't want to spend too much time on it, but Arya Stark, where is she? What's happened to her by the end of season 5?
She's blind.
She's in House of Black and White.
I don't know if you could have made that any more straight to the point.
You said we had no time.
Go ahead.
She's in the House of Black and White with the Faceless Men, training to be an assassin.
Sansa Stark, where is she?
She jumped off of a building with Theon /
Whoa. Not a building. A castle, Steve.
Okay.
The wall.
Castle.
She jumped off of a wall
A rampart.
into the abyss.
Tyrion Lannister, where is he?
He is ruling for Daenerys in Marine.
Is that
Did
the
you
bad
just
elf?
pronounce it as Daenerys? You just ranked yourself a 24 out of 10 and you say Daenerys? It's
Yeah.
Daenerys.
Daenerys.
My God, are you going to call her Targaryen next? With that being said. Well, I'm sorry that nobody else is talking.
So what's
'cause some
happening
people
with
have donuts in their
So what's
mouth.
happening with Daenerys?
Anybody want a donut?
I do.
See what I'm doing? See what I'm doing?
What's happening with Daenerys?
Hey, I'm drinking your milk, man.
True.
She flew away on a dragon, far, far away.
Is that how it ended, though? Be a little more specific.
Oh, she was surrounded by
Okay.
Dothrakis.
Is there any more big characters, or are they all dead? Jon Snow. What happened to him?
He's alive and well.
He's waiting in line He's waiting in line at the Apple Store
Still freezing his balls off.
for the watch.
Where's my boy Ed Bean?
Ed B. Hello, James. I don't think there's any more big characters.
Cersei Lannister.
Yeah, is she a big character? I think Jaime's a bigger
Shame.
character than Cersei.
Shame. Shame.
Cersei was...
Seeks
Yeah.
I need to do this myself. Cersei is pissed off. She's seeking vengeance, and people will be avenged. And Jaime's just chilling. He had Marcella in his hands, dying slowly. I don't know if she's dead. I mean, I've seen the trailer, so they've kind of confirmed that she's dead. But at that point,
Spoilers.
we just thought that she was kind of bleeding profusely out of the nose.
I mean, it was Dorne.
Yeah.
That's like the thing they do is they...
Oh, I know.
There was no ambiguity there.
But the thing about Dorne as well, coming from a book standpoint, is that they're known to make their victims suffer, not necessarily die immediately. But maybe since she was a little girl, they gave her a pass. Anybody else that I've missed, really?
I mean, if we want to mention...
Stannis Baratheon. Again, I don't want to spend too much time recapping, but I just wanted everybody to know. Now, moving forward, the big thing, predicting what's going to happen. I mean, we've seen the trailers. We've seen a corpse of Jon Snow. We saw
Jon Snow.
We saw a pretty...
Come on, man. Pronounce it right.
Gianni Snow. Gianni.
We saw Jon Snow.
I think it's a soft J.
And
Jon
then,
Snow.
We saw
Gianni.
we saw Davos kind of saying, "I'm not a good fighter, so I'm sorry." I don't know, but we saw some pretty cool things. So moving forward, any big death predictions this season? Who do you think's going to go?
Man, everybody.
I think we're going to see a dragon eat it.
Really?
How many
Yeah.
dragons
Which
are
one? 3. There are 3 dragons
We're going to
alive.
see that pansy-ass dragon eat it.
The yellow one.
Yeah.
Nobody likes the yellow dragons.
Everybody
I think
hates
it's
yellow dragons.
What is it?
But one of the dragons is eating it.
Yeah, I disagree completely. In the books, there is a story arc where somebody is burned alive by a dragon. Did they do that in season 5? The Dance with Dragons?
No, they didn't.
So I have a feeling that's going to happen because
There was a little bit of a teaser of that in the trailer.
That's an awesome scene. It's not going to be Tyrion. Absolutely no way.
I know.
Absolutely no way. That'd be awesome, but there's absolutely no way. So yeah, Game of Thrones. Who do you think's going to die, Nick?
In all seriousness, not my dragon prediction. what's his name? Sorry, I have all funny nicknames for all the characters.
Is it Jorah Mormont?
Yes, thank you. I kept wanting to call him
Mr. Hairy Chest and Friend Zone.
I keep getting him confused with Braun because
Yeah,
he's just generic white guy
that
with
sounds
scruffy face.
nothing alike.
No.
What do you mean generic? I mean, I think they have distinct personalities.
Yeah, but the face.
Oh.
It was the name. Like, listen, I'm really bad with the names on this. Like, I could never remember Marjorie's name, so I just called her the Tits Out Girl.
No, that's Melisandre.
No, that's
You literally see her boobs in every
like,
season.
What is it? Ginger Viking for Yulkarlate, or however. I don't know.
Was that English?
Well, the Viking chick or whatever her name, north of the.
Ygritte?
Yeah, that's it.
Egret, come on.
Egret. Listen, I'm
Regret
bad with
is what I have
faces.
for ever deciding to do this podcast.
Steve, why don't you give us some death predictions of the show?
I think that Tommen is going to die. I think that it's about his turn. We saw at the beginning of season 5 the flashback with Cersei and prediction that all her children will die before she is, and I think Tommen's next.
Oh, Tommen's definitely going to go. I mean, he is the king. I mean, the problem with Tommen, he's a cool character because Joffrey was such a piece of garbage that they brought Tommen in, and he's actually a potential to be a really, really, really good king. His biggest issue is that he's young. So people can easily manipulate him, but that's why it's so fascinating because they've introduced Marjorie in there, you know what I mean?
Right.
And she can kind of, I don't know.
The age gap between them is almost uncomfortable to think about when you watch it.
Exactly.
And
Especially
she's
when they have
definitely
sex.
manipulating it. Like yeah, I was going to say, when I was that old,
Gerald
if I
laying
had-
that one in
I had
there.
Natalie Dormer on me.
What did he say?
I don't know. He just said
When
someone's
they had
having sex.
It was weird.
I thought they implied that it
Oh,
happened.
they boned. For sure.
This is on HBO. I'm pretty sure that they don't really cut any corners with that
it's
stuff.
awkward.
Every show on HBO has to have a sex scene, even the talk shows. It's in the contract.
Even real time with Bill Maher.
I get what you were saying. Like, the age difference definitely is awkward. I get it. But, I mean, like I said, this show is heavily based on, like, what it would actually be like in medieval times.
Yeah.
And to be honest, people were pretty barbaric. They did some pretty nasty things. So I kind of, from a storytelling perspective and the fact that it is fiction, them having sex necessarily didn't bother me. Because, first of all, the actress looks like he's 15, 16. Again, I don't. It's an odd topic, but it's not like he's a 10 or 11 like he is in the books. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
the HBO made them up. The age.
And I get why. I
right.
100% get why they did that.
Yeah.
But
George R. R. Martin's a sick bastard.
well, no, in the books,
Yeah, the
they
books
don't.
they never have.
They don't.
Oh, okay.
Do it. So.
Still.
But I don't want to
bad.
sit here comparing. You know what I mean? That versus that, because for the sake of it. Culturally, nice face. Brian's shoving a donut in his mouth
so slowly.
But, people who are going to die. Here's my biggest predictions about this season. Everybody knows I'm the biggest Game of Thrones fan. They have dicked around with us with the Lady Stoneheart story arc, and this is the perfect opportunity of Jaime Lannister, rumored to be going back to the Riverlands to do his book arc, and they're reintroducing, I think they said Blackfish Tully. I think they're doing Edmure Tully. So this would be the perfect opportunity to reintroduce that character. I don't care if they recasted her; it doesn't matter, because the cool thing about Lady Stoneheart is that she's been so beaten up. She's has her throat slit, so she doesn't really talk. She's kind of like crazy and unrecognizable. So they could totally get away with recasting her. And she had a really cool story arc with Podrick and Brienne in the books. I'm not really sure if they're going to.
Jaime.
I'm not really sure if they're. Yeah, big cliffhanger as of right now in A Dance of Dragons. But not really sure where they're going to go with that in this show, because as far as I know, Brienne's in the North. And it makes it seem like the North is finally going to get their revenge, and I have a feeling Sansa's going to be their champion. She's going to be the Stark's champion. No, I'm telling you right now, like, she's not necessarily going to be fighting, but she is going to be that leader role that people flock to. Do you think that's the case, or do you think they're going to reintroduce, and I don't want to be sexist, but do you think they're going to reintroduce, like, a Rickon character eventually?
No, I think Sansa's going to take the forefront on this.
She has to.
Something's going to happen with her and Littlefinger, though. She's got to get back with him, and like he sent her off to.
I have a feeling things are
Ramsay Bolton.
are not going to pan out between them. Littlefinger is a little conniving little shit. There's no way that he's just going to.
I love Littlefinger.
There's no.
Favorite
I do
character.
too, but there's no way they're going to help him. You know what I mean? His whole plan was to help the Starks get back into power. There's no way you're going to sit there and tell me that's what he's been scheming this entire time. He's the master manipulator.
He just
No,
wants
he
power
said
for
from the
himself.
very
Exactly,
beginning of the show that his ultimate goal is the throne. I mean,
And if you can get, I see what you're saying. If you can get that by putting the Starks back in power, aligning the North, getting rid of the Bolt, I have a feeling the Boltons are going to eat it this season.
Oh, for sure.
They're going to.
Yeah, there you go. You want a prediction? Ramsey. That'll be satisfying as hell.
Maybe not Ramsey, but definitely Ruse, his dad. They are going to eat it. Like they are. Ramsey, reading the books, was the most despicable character I've ever seen, especially with his chapters and with Reek. And they've done a great job with that in the show. Like, it's just, like, hard to watch at times because you're like, how can someone be so mentally broken to where he has to sleep with the dogs? He's just afraid in every way.
And Theon wasn't even that likable of a character.
Exactly. And talk about 360 or 180, was it 180, 360, 720?
360 is back where you started.
Yeah, that's not what I meant. 180. So talk about a freaking 180. Like, they did the same thing with Jaime. Who liked Jaime Lannister before he got his hand cut off?
I sure did.
Tell me one person. Nobody.
Yeah, he was a
just said I
major
did.
dick.
And now he's pretty much everybody's favorite character left in the show. Predictions. So I think the Boltons are going to eat it. The Starks are going to finally...
I know somebody who is going to die, definitely.
But you think Jaime's a more favorite character than Tyrion?
No, but I think he's up there.
Okay. I was like, hold on a second.
See, here's my issue. Go ahead, Steve.
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that because it seemed like season 5 was a lot of the good guys are starting to be on top, except for Jon Snow dying at the end. But it seemed like the good guys were going to be coming out on top. Sansa finally leaves the Bolton. She takes that.
We thought she was dead though, but it's been confirmed she's alive.
Well, yeah, with the trailers and everything. So she finally gets to escape that. Yes, Jon Snow dies, but now Tyrion, who's everybody's favorite character, he's going to be ruling instead of Daenerys.
I'm telling you right now, here's where they're going with Tyrion. Leaving Tyrion, in Marine is a mistake because he has nothing to do over there. So I see what they're doing, trying to pit him with Daenerys, and they are eventually, and I'm assuming by the end of this season, since they're running on episodes, migrating to Westeros. She's going to bring the Dothraki with her. It's bottom.
But that's been the plan the whole time.
Bottom
she
line.
can't say Marine forever.
She's
going to get her whole army of freed slaves.
That's why she's such a boring character. She sits there talking... No, for real. She's the worst character in Game of Thrones. She sits there talking the biggest game, being like, I'm not going to... what was the big line from... I'm not going to fix the wheel. I'm going to break it. I forget what it was, but it was along those lines. And she's sitting in Marine doing nothing. So if they don't have her coming back to Westeros by the end of this season, I
think her presiding over Marine was an attempt to actually enact real change to make sure that the slave owners didn't retake power. Like liberation has been her whole story arc.
But she's failed every time.
She freed herself from her brother. She's freed the people of Marine.
I'll agree with you. She has succeeded in a few ways, but she cannot maintain it. She's a failure at maintaining it, hence why she wants to stay to continue to strive to do it. Am I wrong with that?
No, I agree.
Because she's not the right person for the throne.
Oh, I think she's the perfect person for the throne, but I think the whole point of the story arc is, and don't get too twisted with the humans' affairs, because that's not the point of the story. The whole point is to get sidetracked with this War of the Five Kings, but at the end of the day, who cares who's on the throne? Because the big threat is the White Walkers.
Yeah.
They've been pushing it off and pushing it off and pushing it off, and if there isn't an invasion by the end of this season, I don't know how they're going to do it.
Well, it already started.
Right.
But they haven't gone over the wall, so how has it started if they haven't gotten over the wall? Like, 700 feet high? My biggest thing with the White Walkers is they have come out and said after this season there will be 2 more. One's going to have 7 episodes, and one's going to have 6 episodes. There's probably only going to be 13 more episodes of Game of Thrones after this season. So they need to start. They need to stop George Martin
and that's why
where
I
the
think.
Books at? Have they
that's why I think
yet?
this episode. That's why I think this season is going to be the season of the villain. I feel like that's what it's going to be. They're going to kill off a bunch of good guys again, and then the last 2 seasons are going to be, now finally ending everything. But we've seen it time after time. Every time that the good guy starts on top, the villain comes in and there's a massacre. The Red Wedding, for example. And I think that that's where season 5 was leading to. The good guys were starting to get on top,
Talk about the Red Wedding.
And
so
now
good.
I think that this season is going to be the season of the villain.
Yeah, but I don't. That's where I disagree with you. I don't necessarily think there are villains in the show. There are just bad.
There's definitely villains.
There are just
There,
bad.
there are players that go from face to heel, but
Who's a villain in the show right now?
who's a villain?
Yeah, other than Ramsey, other than Roose.
Cersei?
I disagree.
Cersei?
I disagree. This is the season where Cersei's going to make that transition, and I feel like you're going to start to feel for her.
And
I
that
don't think so.
the
You don't think so? How do you think How do you think she's going to end? Do you think by the end of the series, A Song of Ice and Fire, not necessarily the show, do you think that prophecy is going to come true, where she is like murdered by? Did they say you're going to be murdered by your brother or something?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Do you think it's going to be Tyrion, or do you think it's going to be Jaime?
in the way the books make it out, it's going to be Jaime. That's what I always thought.
You think he's going to survive that ordeal with Stoneheart?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, Game of Thrones is coming out. I'm very excited for it. Steve, aren't we going to do an independent updates every Tuesday after this season? So
Yes.
what we're going to do is we're going to recap the show. We're going to try and keep it book spoiler free because I don't want to do that. So we're just going to, it's going to be specifically the show. We'll post that every Tuesday for the next 10 weeks. We'll kind of recap it, what we liked, what we didn't like, moving forward, what to expect. They need to kill off, I agree, they do need to kill off some people, especially when we're dwindling down in time of how long the story
Somebody
is
they're
gonna be.
definitely going to kill off this season is somebody who doesn't really matter because nobody's seen him in forever, but Balon Greyjoy.
They have to.
Yeah, he's definitely.
I'm very
gonna die.
excited for the Crow's Eye.
What's
Yes,
going to
me
happen
too.
with Bran? He wasn't in season 5 at all.
Bran is studying to be with the guy that was in the tree. The third-eye raven, three-eye crow is what
Oh, it was
they
a
call
raven.
him.
Three-eyed raven.
I think
yeah.
they call him. Did they call him Crow in the book?
No, it's a raven.
Maybe they didn't
Raven.
call him Crow because of the whole North. Oh, you filthy crow.
Feast
you know
of
what I mean?
crows.
So okay, the three-eye raven. He's training with him, and he's trying to become. The heart trees, which are the North are known to have. He's going to be going through flashbacks, so we'll definitely see flashbacks. It's I don't want to spoil anything. I really don't, but there is a flashback that Gerald and I have been eagerly waiting for. I've seen it in the trailer, so I know 100% they're going to do it, and it's going to be amazing.
Awesome character and another character
Your-
possibly with a great name.
Is it your favorite character?
I would say it's my favorite character. Yeah,
The sword of the morning?
yeah.
All right. So Game of Thrones is coming out. Super excited. Keep a track on the. Where are we going to post that? YouTube? Absolutely. YouTube, SoundCloud. It'll be on the
Probably
Facebook.
post it somewhere.
So why don't you guys give us a quick update? How many donuts have you eaten a piece?
I've had like 7, at least 7.
I had 3.
Well, I'm super glad.
I had one.
You guys are totally willing to do anything. It's like losing has no meaning anymore. But with that being said, Civil War is also coming out, and we were going to kind of wait to post. We were going to kind of wait to.
Yeah, I'm back.
Same.
We were going to wait to postpone that until May, but it's coming out the 3rd, isn't it?
It's coming
6.
out.
Shut up, Mark.
I believe it's
I
actually.
believe.
I honestly think it's the 5th. To be honest with you, whatever. It's going to come out the first week of May.
I like what you did there. Very
Yeah.
broad.
Whatever, you guys will see it.
Between May 1st
This
and May
is gonna.
31st.
I don't care. A lot of early reviews are out, and people are like, "It's so good," and then some people are like, "It's not as good as Winter Soldier," and I'm like, "Shut up! You know it's going to be."
Let me
great.
ask you a question. Do you think Marvel fanboys have been giving it great reviews because they hate Batman so much and they just kind of want to shove it down their throat?
Well, see, the thing is that Marvel makes good movies and DC makes god awful
Well,
movies.
Are you kidding
This
me?
is correct.
Marvel has made
Thank
probably
you.
5 good movies. Are you going to sit there and tell me
Whoa.
Thor was good, Thor 2 was good?
Marvel has had more time.
The Incredible Hulk
They're
was
in a
good.
rhythm.
Incredible
now.
Hulk is a
that's not
great
true.
movie. You hold your
They've
tongue,
been
you
making
son of a.
Batman since the 80s.
Very
Incredible-
true, but since like the MCU 2008 Iron Man, they're in more of a rhythm now. The machine is going, so they know
Now,
where the pieces
see,
are.
I have a question for everyone, and it's not whether or not this movie is going to be good or not, because we all know it's going to be good. Kevin can shove it.
I'm not saying it's not going to be good. I'm just saying don't sit there and say every
I ask
movie
one
Marvel has done has been great. Don't
It
lie to me.
has.
It's
like
been
that.
above average.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Scoreboard. Anyways, I want to know. See, now Spider-Man is Team Iron Man. We know that Iron Man's going to be in the next Spider-Man movie, which kind of sucks because now we know that Iron Man's probably not going to die in this movie.
I thought Robert Downey Jr. is like, I'm done playing.
He'll
Iron
never stop. Anyways, my question is, with Spider-Man joining Team Iron Man, who do we think is actually going to win that fight?
now,
The fight, the physical
The literal
Like the-
fight. Okay, so
the
Captain
airport
America,
fight?
Team Cap is Cap, Winter Soldier, Falcon, Hawkeye, Ant-Man. And then Team Iron Man is Iron Man, War Machine, Vision, Black
Widow.
Panther, and Spider-Man.
Okay, let me restrict the rules, though, for this argument. Nobody's switching sides. It's just that team versus that team, okay? Who wins and why?
Team Cap all day.
I disagree completely. Team Iron Man. See, the problem you have with Team Captain America is it's all S.H.I.E.L.D. people. Black Widow.
No, actually,
Black Widow's on Team Iron Man.
Actually, I'll tell you.
Who was it again? One more time?
Okay, so Team Cap
Let me write this down.
Team Cap is Captain America,
I assumed he was on that team.
Falcon,
Which is okay. He's an okay person to have.
Scarlet Witch,
She's pretty powerful.
There's your heavy hitter.
Winter Soldier,
Okay.
and we have
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
And Hawkeye.
And Hawkeye is the last one.
And that other guy.
You could just leave Hawkeye off the list.
No,
Hey, Jeremy Renner's wife divorced him because she found out he played Hawkeye.
Oh.
I think Hawkeye is actually a pretty solid character. Okay.
And Iron Man. So Iron Man is Iron Man, War Machine, Black Widow, Black Panther, Spider-Man, and Vision.
Now, one thing that
I apologize. I was mixing up teams. Shut up, Mark.
Now, one thing I understand about Spider-Man, I don't know much about the Civil War storyline
You don't need
and
to.
all that, but I always assumed that Spider-Man was a pawn between Captain America
Again,
and Iron Man. So is he
Pretty
really
much,
on
yeah.
Team Iron Man, or are they fighting
So not
for
to give
him?
super spoilers for the
Because I don't think
but
he really is
Spider-Man has a bigger role to play.
Okay.
It's not that he's trying to trick anyone, but he is a vital character. But I'm talking
Yeah.
about if you're facing
That's-
Team Captain America, you have Scarlet Witch. And we've seen in the trailer that Scarlet Witch can take down Vision, who is easily Iron Man's most powerful person. All right, so you got two Iron Mans, but we've also seen in the trailer that Winter Soldier probably is going to take out Rhodes. And Cap's going to fight Iron Man,
Yeah,
so that's fine. I mean, Captain America's team
He's been
is
wanting to fight him with the
stacked.
suit since
literally-
the first Avengers movie.
Exactly.
Like Brian was saying, literally, let's not talk about necessarily
Okay.
plot lines, but just the character, that fight.
So I disagree with the taking him down. Sure, she can use her power and she can manipulate him, but he's got an Infinity Stone jammed in his head.
But that's where her
True.
power comes
For
from.
now.
yeah, and so the
It's
thing that gives
almost
the
like
power,
if
it's
you were
Galactus
fighting your own
versus Silver
kid.
Surfer. No, it's Galactus versus Silver Surfer. Let me give you some of my power.
Yeah, but how many times does Silver Surfer beat Galactus?
with the
all
help
the
of
time.
the Fantastic Four,
Fantastic
who are
Four
owned
suck.
somewhere else.
Fan Four Stick.
In The Rise of the Silver Surfer, played by Lawrence
Lawrence
Fishburne.
Fishburne.
No, voiced by Lawrence Fishburne.
Shut up, Nick.
No, all right. So
He
here's
goes by Larry at home.
here's your wild card, and here's what's definitely gonna wrap it up for Team Iron Man. If Black Panther is as good as people say they are, I mean, he's super fast, super strong. He's obviously getting shot and not getting phased by it in the trailer, so he could be your honest.
I just feel like a lot
I
of...
think it's Black Widow.
But it's Hawkeye can take care of
I
Black
absolutely
Widow.
understand why they took out Thor and Hulk, by the way.
Right.
'Cause-
I mean,
yeah.
it's, what are you going to do? Put them on
Would it be-
opposite
put them
sides
on
and be
their
a
own?
fair
Would it be a
fight?
fair
Yeah,
fight?
Exactly.
In the comics, actually, Thor was dead.
Correct.
And Hulk was shot off into space.
Correct.
So, I mean,
And now just to add anybody that doesn't think Team Cap can win, both a Lego set and the Funko set has revealed that Ant-Man will be Giant Man.
that's what I was going to say. I feel like Ant-Man
And
is
there you go.
definitely the biggest asset for Team
Winter
America.
Soldier,
Team Captain America,
Ant-Man,
because he's going to...
Scarlet
Will you
Witch.
shut up and let me talk?
They're going
Oh my God, nobody cares about
destroy
little
them.
plastic bobbleheads. All right, so
collect
all I was
them.
going to say is Ant-Man is going to kill Team Iron Man with kindness because he's so charming.
Plus, who really wants to beat up Paul Rudd? No one.
I'd punch that guy.
Yeah, War Machine I think is a no factor. I think Hawkeye's kind of a no factor. Like you said, it's going to come down to Captain America versus Iron Man. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're going to kind of bump up Iron Man's kick-assery in this movie.
He is pretty
So-
powerful.
And-
Yeah.
Not for nothing, they did foreshadow Cap's death in Age of Ultron. His
Yes.
broken shield in
Yeah.
Tony's vision that he had.
hopefully, I think.
Again, this is just that hypothetical scenario. They're
Correct.
fighting who wins.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easy. It's Team Cap all day.
I just think that since they have so much more
What's Spider-Man
chemistry,
gonna do?
they have so much more chemistry on Team Captain America. Think about it: Winter Soldier, best friend. You know what I mean? They fought, but you know what I mean. They fought war together. Like they have a chemistry.
Falcon, new best friend.
Exactly, Falcon. I mean, Iron Man, War Machine had that same dynamic.
Yeah.
Black Widow, I feel like
His old secretary.
Tony Stark's always
Exactly.
kind of had like a relationship with her.
Yep.
Black Panther, new character, doesn't know any of these people.
100%.
Spider-Man, like I said, very new. He could be manipulated. Very naive, just wants to be
He's a
in
kid
the
in
show.
high school.
And then Vision is, like I said, very powerful, but he's
Scarlet Witch can dispatch that
at the
pretty
end of the
easily.
day, I feel like he's just a computer.
Agreed.
So
He can lift the hammer.
So that's the biggest issue they have. Now, I just feel like it's going to come down to Iron Man. If we were not killing people, but just down for the count, I think it would come down to Iron Man, Captain America.
I hope we see some interesting matchups, though. Like, I don't
But
want it to
I
just be
think we
Captain
will.
America versus Iron Man, Hawkeye versus Black Widow, and like that, and War Machine versus Falcon. Like, I don't want it to just be these typical matchups. Like, I want it to be like, oh, Captain America throws a shield and maybe it hits Spider-Man, or like interesting things like that.
I think Black Panther and Captain America are going to go at it
Sure hope
because Captain America's shield's made out of vibranium, and Black Panther uses vibranium a lot.
Yep.
Black Panther, since this is his introduction, it's kind of like wrestling. When you introduce a new up-and-coming wrestler, you do something called a squash match. That's where they fight an established star, and they wipe the floor with them to make them look strong. So, for wrestling fans, if there are any out there. So they're going to do the same thing with Black Panther. They're going to have him show up and kick ass. Like he's going to be,
think so,
he's
too.
going to be awesome, and you're going to be like, oh my god, I cannot wait for Black Panther.
And,
you know what
and
I mean?
that'll be a nice way for the audience to literally see his power level
Exactly.
at play.
I think they'll do that early on, though, and then by the time, so that you can do exactly what you're talking about, and be like, wow, this guy's crazy. So by the time that fight happens, this big fight, because this is going to be your showpiece of the whole movie, that people are going to be like on board with all the characters except for Spider-Man. I bet you that's Spider-Man's introduction right there.
If you had to guess to me how much, if you had to, 1 second, Mark, I'll let you. If you had to guess how much screen time Spider-Man's going to get, do you think he's going to be pretty solid in the movie, or think he's going to be
30. I bet you he's 30 minutes.
I'm going to say 20.
I actually heard he was a predominant role in the movie.
I just don't want Luke Skywalker treatment.
Are we talking Spider-Man or like Peter Parker on screen, or just total?
I'm counting both. I'm
Both?
counting the characters as total. I bet you we see him around 30 minutes, probably 2010. Peter Parker or Spider-Man. It's going to be a good fight either way. I mean, honestly, I just think that...
Sorry, go ahead.
Can I say just one thing?
No.
Is the something we haven't seen at all is the actual villain of the movie. Is
Crossbones.
Baron
Zemo.
Baron Zemo. Yeah, they haven't really revealed.
That's probably
a lot.
not a good sign.
What is he?
Yeah.
Does he have a suit? Like,
Yes.
I'm a kind of a
He
comic
wears a
fan.
purple sock on
Yeah, I
his
was
head.
going to say, where's the sock?
So he does kind of hide his identity.
So that's a
Yes.
wild card here, though. We don't really know what's going
I'm just
on with
worried that he's going to get the typical Marvel villain treatment.
I have heard that as well. I've heard similarities made to his plot is similar to Lex Luthor's in BVS, where it's like not well defined, and that there will be later. It'll be revealed later. But I agree. He's probably going to get the backdoor treatment, as in with every single Marvel.
Oh yeah.
Plus
That
we have,
super backdoor
Crossbones.
access.
Yeah, do you think Crossbones is just going to kind of be his lackey, or do you think he's going to have a different role?
I think
think-
that's going to be the intro.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too, but I think he's going to come back. I feel like Crossbones and Baron Zemo are going to be playing at. I feel like Iron Man is going to be taken for a ride this whole movie. I feel like the fight that's going to happen is Iron Man is going to be being played this entire time, and Cap's on the right side of this. If you remember in the trailer, Iron Man says, the whole world was wrong about you, and they play it over a shot of Captain America. I think he's going to be talking to one of the villains who, maybe is pretending to be good. Maybe it's Baron Zemo, who comes in as a politician or something. I think Iron Man's being played.
The biggest issue we have with Marvel movies right now is we know where they're going. Okay, we know there's going to be Infinity War. We know there's going to be Black Panther, Spider-Man. So as much as you want to pit the Avengers against each other in a Civil War story arc, at the end of the day, it's going to be like Dawn of Justice, like you said, where they're fighting, but at the end of the day, they're going to come together
Yeah.
for a common cause.
still bet that you'll get at least 2 casualties in this movie.
You think? I don't want to predict deaths right this
I don't
second,
either
so.
because I'm not sure if they've laid any tracks other than Cap, but I bet you we get at least 1 or 2 people.
I know I don't necessarily want to talk about plot right now, but we do have the Martin Freeman character. We have the William Hurt character coming back. So we have those characters that could potentially...
Who's Martin Freeman?
We don't
Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo Baggins.
What do you mean coming back? He was not in one of the Marvels.
No, he said that
Martin
Hurt's
Freeman,
characters.
William Hurt's character from the
Thunderbolt
Incredible
Ross.
Hulk.
From the terrible Incredible Hulk movie. I
It's
forgot.
a great movie.
It's a
I don't
good
know what
movie.
you're talking about.
I do love Tim Roth though.
So we have Martin Freeman's introduction, and we have William Hurt coming back, and I feel like what you said before, they'll contribute to the fight in some way or form, deceiving Iron Man or what have you. So I'm excited to see what that will be.
So we'll do a follow-up right after the movie. We'll do a heavy spoiler review. So just keep an eye out for that. With the discussion of Civil War, I think there's going to be some side picking coming up in this whole game. Why don't you explain, Steve?
All right, so with Civil War coming out, and also Game of Thrones, that's going to be starting its new season. We have selected our 2 champions, our Game of Thrones experts, and pitting them against each other. Now, of course, that's Kevin and Gerald. The 2 of them are going to go head-to-head in a Game of Thrones trivia to see who the ultimate expert is. Our guest nerd, Nick, has come up with a series of questions. He's run them past myself. He's also run them past Brian, just to make sure that we think that they're fair, that they're even, and so on, and that the difficulty for a so-called or self-proclaimed Game of Thrones expert should be able to answer. So he's come up with a series of questions that will be drawn at random for these. So Nick will go ahead and do those.
So, Gerald, you know I like you, right? Like, kind of. How long would you say we've known each other? Like, at least 2 weeks?
A couple of years now.
You know, we used to kind of agree on things. We've teamed up in the past. We teamed up for Dragon Ball Z versus Jedi. We've teamed up for Batman versus Superman. But that's over now. I think the big question everyone wants to know is who is going to win. Now, I would think I'm the underdog here, and Gerald's the Patriots. So everyone's going to think that he's going to wipe the floor.
I take offense to that.
Everyone's going to think, oh, you're a Redskins fan, right?
Someone
Everyone
score.
That's the thing. Somebody needs to keep score because per every show we've ever done, every time I try to keep score, I've been dead wrong.
So the first round is 12 questions, all worth 1 point.
Back and forth, though.
Back
he gets
and forth,
one, I get one.
And then round 2 is multi-part questions. They're different for each of you, but you have the chance to make the same amount of points.
Quick question.
Each time.
Okay.
Before anybody picks their teams, why don't we just do a quick recap? Do you remember what your lifetime record is?
3-0, 3-2.
You tell me.
I don't know.
All right, Gerald.
Gerald is actually a funny thing. Brian was trying to feed him cues with his fingers, and Gerald's like,
So we've done 6 games, and Gerald has the most wins at 3. I am in second place with 2, and then Steve, Mark, and Kevin all have 1 win.
Yay!
So that is one, just so you know. One big win. Just putting that out there. So, again, I think I'm the underdog coming into this one. So how did we want to do it? Did we want to have people pick teams now, show allegiance?
Mark, who's your team?
I am Team Gerald.
Why?
Yeah.
Why, Mark? I've always been so nice to you. Why wouldn't you be on my team? I have trained you to be as good as you are today, which is from where you were.
All right, Steve. Who are you going with?
All right, Kevin, as much as this pains me to do this,
Yes!
just knowing the difficulty of these questions, I got to support you, Kevin. I'm going with you.
Yeah! Damn it! Yeah, I got one, and that's all I need.
It's okay, Gerald. I'll be your Ant-Man. Don't worry.
All right, thanks. You better grow in a giant man.
Charming, punchable face guy.
And because I want to end this season tied with Gerald on the most wins, I'm going Team Kev too.
Yeah! Just so you know, I'm probably going to let everybody down.
Gerald, don't let me down.
Did we announce if you are on the losing team side, you will also be punished?
Yep. So if Gerald does not pull it out today, then Mark gets punished, and if Kevin disappoints us, which he probably will, Steve and I are going to kill ourselves.
I don't even have confidence in myself.
Hey, Kevin, can I join your team and you join my team, and then we don't have to be punished
Yes,
no matter what?
I am Team Gerald all day. All right, do you guys want to go ahead and get started?
I'm ready.
Is anybody going to
Let's
answer
do it.
me?
All right, so our guest
Ready to
host,
go.
Nick, is going to lead it off. Let's do this.
Okay. Gerald, how many books are currently published in the series A Song of Fire and Ice?
It's a Song of Ice and Fire.
Shut up.
Just saying.
5.
Correct. Kevin, how many pages are there cumulatively in all of the published books?
How is that a fair...
These are all random.
Well, the first one has about 800 something. Second one has over 1,000. Third one's the longest one at around 1,200. Can I be close? I mean, there's no way I'm going to get an exact number. That's a ridiculous question.
Go ahead.
I feel like we've been had.
The fourth one, I think, is about...
Gonna need a number.
I'm going to say 2,500? I don't fucking...
4,273.
Yeah, because anybody would have known that.
Gerald, which network airs the show?
HBO?
Correct. Kevin, what company first published the books and in what year?
The first book was published in 1996, and I don't know the company.
All right. It was Bantam Books.
Huh.
Gerald, how many R's appear in the author's name?
Oh, trying to throw me off. Yeah. 4.
Correct. Kevin, how much does George R.R. Martin weigh?
What?
I'm just kidding with you. I put some joke questions at the beginning just to mess with you.
I'm going to guess, though.
I actually didn't look up the answer to this one. The other ones I was totally kidding.
I bet you he's a solid 370.
Wait, are these real questions? Because I am profusely sweating right now. I'm like, oh God, we've been so screwed.
He has been keeping...
I'm like, oh my God, please just get right.
He has been keeping score, and he has a smiley or a frowny face.
Reset the score. I'm sorry. I thought that...
Oh,
I talked it over
I
with
literally...
Steve. Thought that would be kind of funny.
Oh my God, I cannot tell you how nervous.
Did you look up any of those answers?
Oh yeah, I did. I looked up all those answers just to be.
Who the hell is going to know how many
Kevin
really
threw me a
thought you
look
were gonna
like
call me out
I
and
don't
be
know
like,
what to do.
why are
I'm
you-
so mad.
I was fuming.
Why are you giving me these hard questions that no one could answer? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Wait, how much does George R.R. Martin weigh?
I said 3. He has to be at
I don't
least
know.
373 pounds.
That was my. I'm going to reveal as a joke.
Oh, bummer.
Look it up. Look it up. Tell us how much he weighs. 373 pounds. Calling it right now. Steve, we went to a Red Wings game last night, and you said, I wonder how many people here. And I guessed, and I was off by 5 people. 5 people. I am the master at counting jelly beans. Or guessing jelly beans.
All right. Jelly bean people.
I mean,
Now let's start the real
the
trivia.
real trivia now.
let me
that was.
let me ask you a question.
I still have 3 points, right?
Let me ask you Let me ask you a question, Steve. Did you know?
Yes.
You knew this whole time.
I knew the whole time.
I have never felt more betrayed. I feel like Rob.
He's on your team, too.
I feel like Rob.
Oh my
I feel like Rob Stark with 4 bolts in his chest, is stroking his dead pregnant wife, just being like, "What went wrong?"
All right. For real. All right. First question.
Thank God.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. All right.
Is this Kevin or Gerald?
I'm going to go to Kevin first.
Okay, please, God.
What is Hodor's real name?
I know Old Nana's his grandma. They only say it like twice in the book, so I think he's named after. It's a pure guess, but I think he's named after one of the famous Northern kings. So they say it. They definitely say it in one of the earlier. I don't know.
Walder.
You didn't give Gerald a chance to steal.
That's all right. I didn't know it.
Did you really not know it?
That one. I mean, like I said, they say it twice.
I'm
Like,
sorry. I dug deep for this trivia, and I thought that was an easy one.
I knew that, but
All right.
I'm looking
Boy.
at your phone right now.
This isn't looking any better.
Well, to be fair, neither one of them knew that one, and that was a real question.
Oh boy.
All right.
The worst Game
I'm
of
sorry.
Thrones.
Thank you. I forgot about the steal. The
Knowledge
steal is
ever.
still a thing.
So if I steal, how many points do I get?
You would still get the. What did we say? 1 point.
1 point for a steal.
1 point for a steal. Yeah. All right. What are the official words of House Lannister?
Hear me roar.
That one was easy.
Well, Lannister always pays his debts is a pretty common.
That is actually a common misconception.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct. I thought I was. All right. Kevin, and now I feel bad. I'm sorry. What is the given surname to a bastard-born noble child in the Crown Lands?
Crown Lands? Oh, I know every other place other than that. For real, I know the Riverlands is... Okay, maybe I don't know the Riverlands. I know the Vale is stone.
Kevin, don't let me down. I picked you.
Please let me down. I didn't pick you.
What's Gendry's last name? What is Gendry's last name? What the hell is Gendry's last name?
I don't think Gerald can tell you.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you
What
the
is his
answer.
last name?
You guys are at war.
Smith.
Is that your answer? It's incorrect.
Waters.
It is correct.
Damn it, Gerald.
Yay!
So now, Gerald, this is your question. One of Daenerys' dragons is said to be the reincarnation of which famous dragon?
Valerian the Black Dread.
That is correct. And I am surprised.
How do you know that?
Kevin.
All right, here, Kevin, you ready?
No, apparently not.
What is Roose Bolton's nickname?
He's quiet, so it has something to do with being quiet. He's a very, very soft-spoken person in the books.
Kind of like this.
Yes, he whispers. He talks very quietly. Roose Bolton, the Warden of the North, because the Boltons have taken over control of the North.
That is incorrect.
God damn it.
The Leech Lord.
That is correct.
Are you kidding me, Kevin?
Yes!
All right, Gerald, your question.
I knew the leeches.
What was the purpose of Tyrion's visit to the Wall, according to him?
I got this one if you don't get it.
I believe in you.
I think he wanted to go up on the wall and piss off of it.
That's not what he said. That is not what he said. I'm sorry, but that is not what he said. He says, I want to piss off the end of the world. Or something.
He says to see what it would be like to piss off of it.
No.
So that is correct.
There we go.
Kevin,
Can you give me an easy one? Like, my God.
Who was the first king shown sitting on the Iron Throne?
In the show or the book?
In the show. Who was the first king we see sitting on the Iron Throne?
King on the Iron Throne. First person... it has to be Ned when he's being steward, when Robert's hunting. Well, I don't... or it has to be Robert Baratheon. Final answer.
Incorrect.
It's Joffrey.
It is, in fact, Joffrey.
What are you talking about?
Joffrey is the first person we see, the first king we see sitting on the Iron Throne.
This game is bullshit. Like every game I've ever competed in, this game is bullshit.
I'm a
Gerald.
fan of it so far.
Gerald, name one of the two characters to appear in every episode before their death.
Ned Stark.
That's all I need. Just needed the one.
Oh, okay.
The other one was Robert Baratheon.
I'm sorry, he appeared in 6 episodes.
Kevin,
Bullshit.
who is killed in the show that does not meet an end in the Red Wedding in the books?
Talisa, his wife.
Yes.
Lady Talisa.
Thank you.
She's alive and well in the books, and they
Lord.
suspect that she's pregnant, and she's a hostage in the Riverlands. So suck it.
Kevin's on the board.
That wasn't even her name.
Yeah, it's still
in
the same
book.
amount
Her
of
name,
points.
I know. Her name was Jane Westerling. So suck
Yes.
it even more.
Hey, that is actually, I did make a note of that in case you did say Jane Westerling or
So
whatever.
do I get 2 points?
No.
This is bullshit.
Gerald, so the round one was meant to be easy. Who was the first character we see die of natural causes on the show?
Natural causes.
Does that mean like a tree fell on him?
I didn't say the Earth fought back a la Avatar.
That actually is a good question.
Avatar's the worst.
That's a
movie
tough
ever made.
one.
Agreed.
Okay, Return of the Jedi.
Better.
Meister Aemon?
It was.
Are you?
Holy cow.
Are you kidding me?
I'm. Okay.
It's Maester.
This wedding is horseshit.
Maester.
Okay.
Aemon.
I said
Kevin.
Meister.
Which hand is Jaime Lannister missing?
His sword hand, his right hand.
Yes, it is his right hand. I did not.
That's the whole point, is that he can't fight with a sword anymore.
Hey, maybe he was secretly left-handed. You don't freaking know. All right, Gerald.
Can we do it? Time out. Can we do a quick score update?
Gerald.
This is the last question of round one.
Okay.
Let's do it right after this. Where does the crown appear on the Baratheon house banner in the books?
On the head of a stag.
Yes, it's above his head on a field of gold. In the TV series, the crown is around the stag's neck.
Okay.
So I will give that his head. So score update.
No, so
Round one is
you're
over.
giving him answers, but I get nothing.
Gerald has 15 points. Kevin has 4.
Yay!
Is there even any point continuing?
Okay.
This is
You want-
bullshit.
No, because there are these points. Now I'm gonna
Don't Don't worry, people. I will make a comeback. Gerald tends to.
I believe in you.
Gerald tends to fumble when the game matters.
The questions are worth more points, so I'm going to alternate. So the first question for each of you is worth 3 points.
Got it.
Okay. Gerald, name 3 non-Lannister
You just got the
characters.
last question.
Relax.
I'm starting with him. I started with you in round 1.
Yeah, but you're giving him a distinct advantage. All right, whatever.
Everyone gets the same amount. Name 3 non-Lannister characters that know about Jaime and Cersei's incest.
Non-Lannister characters. Ned Stark.
I don't think that's a good question, and I'll tell you why after this question.
This is a tough one for me.
10 seconds.
I know them all, actually.
3, 2.
Give me a chance to steal.
Okay, so hold up. So for fairness, he did get 1 point. Ned Stark was
But
one of the correct answers.
I'm sorry, but he didn't get the whole thing
No,
right.
he didn't. He didn't. But it's 1 point for each person named. So
correct-
you have the correct answer. You have the chance to earn 2
Stannis
points.
Baratheon and Robert Aaron. John Aaron. Sorry, John Aaron. That's how the whole thing starts, is they know about it and they conspire.
But who tells them for sure is what I was really looking for.
He got him right, though.
He did. He's right.
2 points
All
for Kevin.
Kevin
2
gets
points
2
for Kevin.
points.
Yeah. I also Varys, Baelish, Bran by accident,
But
any of the Tyrells.
Here's why I think it's a bad question, because Stannis sends out a letter to the entire
Correct. I read that,
kingdom.
and I know that, but I meant like for sure. I should have specified a time frame before the start of book 1.
Oh, that would have changed
You're right.
everything.
I'm sorry.
That's right.
So you could have just named any 3 mother effers in the kingdom. That's fine. Okay,
turn.
Kevin, your question is: what are the 3 locations in Westeros shown in the beginning title sequence of every episode? 1 point for each.
The Wall, Winterfell, King's Landing.
Correct.
Nice.
And they even do Winterfell burning after season 2,
Yeah.
which I thought was pretty cool.
Okay. So now these next 2 questions are worth,
Don't want to say I'm making a
I
comeback.
believe, 8 points.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go, Kevin.
8 points each. These next questions are
They
worth 8
better
points
be
each. They're multi-part
friggin-
questions.
They
Okay.
better be friggin' hard.
Gerald, big lead here.
What is the dominant religion in Westeros, and what are the elements that make it up? It's 2 points for naming the religion and 1 point for each correctly identified
Oh,
part.
I know that.
Okay. It's the religion of the Seven. Not sure what the official name of it is. And you want me to name each of the gods?
Each of the parts. Yes.
Smith, Stranger, Mother, Father. How many is that?
4.
Dang, I know these two.
It makes it hard to steal, though, because you've gotten half the question.
Hey, we'll take any points.
I was going to say, if you know the last 3, he's got 5 seconds. 2, 1.
I feel like the
You got four of them correct, and it's. I don't. Do we want to give him? He said the religion of the 7. It's the faith of the 7. Is that? Is
I
that
don't
good
think
enough?
we should give it to him.
I
All right,
think
so
we
how many
should.
points is that? Because
It
you
would
got
be 2 points for
Yep.
the faith of the 7,
Yep.
and then 1 point for each of the religions, so 4. So 6 points total. Kevin has the opportunity to get 3 out of it.
What did you say again? I feel like he has. I feel like
He correctly answered the father, the mother, the smith, and the stranger.
there has to be the warrior. There's another female character. The maiden.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. And then
You can do it. Remember your training.
10 seconds.
is the dark side stronger? No. I don't know the other one.
5, 4.
I don't know the other one. I'm telling you right
The
now.
crone.
All right, Kevin gets 2 points.
Kevin gets 2. All right, Kevin. Your question. Name and identify the color of the scales. Name, Identify the color of the scales and explain the origin of the given name for each of Daenerys' dragons.
Drogon is black. He's named after her son that she lost in the fetus. Visenya is yellow and is named after... It's named after... Okay, I can name the origins. The origins are after her undead son, her older brother, Rhaegar Targaryen. So Rhaegal is green, I want to say. And then she wouldn't name one after her other brother, Viserys, would she? I am going to say she's going to honor him and name a yellow dragon after Viserys.
You have correctly done all three things. Drogon is the largest. Mm-hmm. They gave 2 colors for the scales, but you got the primary color.
So 9
right
points for
Is that 9 points?
That is, in
oh
fact,
my god!
9 points.
Did Kevin take the lead yet?
Soon.
I don't know if he did or not.
It's all right, Gerald. You got this.
Thanks, Mark.
You got it.
Gerald is up by a mere 2 points.
All right.
Don't call it a comeback.
It's not a
These next
comeback.
questions are 3 points all or nothing.
Okay.
How long and tall is the wall and who built it?
Long, 300 miles. Tall, 700 feet. Built by Brandon the Builder.
Yes.
Nice.
Wow.
God damn it.
Kevin,
You know, which is going to watch. It's going to be complete bullshit.
this is 3 points all or nothing. Name the major land masses in the known Game of Thrones world.
Westeros, Essos, and...
I will tell you there are 4.
Essos, Westeros, and... I don't know if they call anything the North Wall. I know they call the land... There's the land that is always winter, which is on the map. So I feel like that should be a solid answer. That's all I got.
Okay, so Westeros, and it's 3 points all or nothing. So, Gerald, do you want to try and steal?
South Theros is one of them.
Mm-hmm. Do you know the 4th?
I don't know the 4th.
Ulthos.
Othos.
There is an island landmass west of South Theros.
But how do you not...
and south
but
of...
I don't consider north of the wall Westeros.
It is according to the geography that I looked up anyway. I could be
Bullshit.
wrong. The internet...
Bullshit.
No,
Bullshit.
all right.
There is literally a place called the land that is always winter, and that's where
All
the
right.
White Walkers come
So
from.
here... All right, you guys, these are going to be easy
I don't
for
think I
you
got any
guys.
points on that, so I don't know why you're giving me points.
I didn't give you points.
I mean,
Okay, Gerald. Who are the 5 kings in the War of the 5 Kings? You get 1 point for each.
Could you ask him easier questions? Like, my God, are you going to ask him what the 5 Stark's children's name are next?
Maybe that's your question.
I guarantee you, it's not. When was the last time Tywin Lannister took a dump before he was assassinated by Tyrion?
Joffrey. Mm-hmm. Robb. Balon Greyjoy. Renly Baratheon. And Stannis Baratheon.
Correct.
Yay.
That's 1 point for each.
I'm telling you right
5
now,
points.
it's going to be bullshit.
Name the Stark children in order from oldest to youngest. You get 1 point for each.
I refuse to answer because I don't think that's a legit. Is that a? You have
That's
to
your
tell
question.
me from oldest. To
Oldest to youngest.
Do I get bonus points if I tell you how old they all are in the
No.
books?
No.
Robb Stark, Sansa Stark, Arya Stark, Bran Stark, Rickon Stark.
Correct. You're effing welcome, jackass.
Told you.
Okay, Gerald, name the 10 regions of Westeros from south to north.
Oh, that's hard.
1 point for you get 1 point for each, and 1 point for having the correct order.
Ooh.
From south to north, huh?
South to north.
10 regions.
Sounds about right.
There are 10 listed regions. I'm going off of the Game of
Is
Thrones
this in the
wiki.
this is in Westeros, not in the
Yes.
not the free cities?
This is in Westeros. The 10 regions
You're
of
not going to
Westeros
get.
from south
That's
to
a
north.
tough one. You're not going to get it. I'm not saying that to be a jerk, but that's a tough one.
Dorne. The Reach. Stormlands. The Iron Islands. Maybe that's the Westerlands. The Riverlands. The Vale. And the North.
There's no way the Iron Islands are above
Yeah,
the
I messed
Riverlands.
that
There's
one up.
no way.
And then I don't know what else there is.
So the order that again, according to the internet, and I
Don't
apologize for
say
not
it
being...
because Kevin can steal.
Don't I get a chance to
okay,
steal?
yes, you're right. Thank you, Steve, for keeping...
Gerald get any
Gerald-
points?
Yeah, how many points did Gerald get?
Well, he didn't name them in the order that I have here.
Did he get any of them in the right order?
Dorn.
He got Dorn.
Okay, so he got 1 point.
Can I draw?
Well, but he named other ones correctly.
Can I illustrate it? No. Well, can I have this so I can... think
Yeah,
about
paint
it
a
and
watercolor for us.
Yes.
All right, there's Dorn. There's, like you said, the... Here, there's one here. The king... Here.
Oh, damn.
Here.
He's remembering all the ones that he forgot.
He's allowed a pen and paper here.
Yeah, this is...
Dorn.
Damn it.
The Riverlands. No, not the Riverlands. I did not mean the Riverlands. I did
You
not.
said it. It's official.
No, he's fair. I did say it. It's whatever. I don't fuck.
No,
I don't care. I don't care.
So the
Well,
order
okay,
that I
yeah.
had seen, and I don't know how true this is, I apologize. It was Dorne, the Stormlands, the
Yep.
Reach, the Crownlands, the Westerlands, the Vale of Arryn, the Riverlands, the Iron Islands, the North,
Yep.
and then Beyond the Wall / the Land of Always Winter.
Are you gonna? What? What? That's apparently a region now. What?
It's part of Westeros.
Are you?
So
Next question.
It's not a continent, though.
So you get a point for naming Dorne.
Does Kevin
The
get any
Reach.
points for that?
I don't think he named anything that Gerald didn't.
No, he didn't.
I don't like how these questions are structured.
Dorne, the Reach,
Is this high school
the
where it's a
Riverlands, the
short
Iron
answer
Islands, and
and
the
I
North.
give
So Gerald got 5 points.
Yay!
partial? How many questions are there left? Do I even?
You get this is your last question.
It's not my turn.
It is your turn.
It is your turn.
okay. It's my.
It's for all 11 points.
Yeah. And
Name everyone on Arya's kill list from the show.
the Hound, the Mountain, Cersei Lannister, the Tickler. What's that one guy's name that steals her goddamn sword? It changes though. She does change her list. Maren Trant. That's all I got.
That's all I got.
That's all I got.
Look, do you want to steal? Do you know the rest?
I might know some more. Which ones?
Joffrey Baratheon, not too late. Joffrey Baratheon, not too late. Joffrey Baratheon. I'm sorry, it wasn't too late. Give me the goddamn point.
All right, so he's got 6
Polliver,
points.
Polliver, not
7
too late. Not too.
points.
I'm sorry. You hesitated. I'm still going.
I was
Polliver.
waiting to see which ones you said already.
Shouldn't have given up so easily.
Shoot.
Tywin.
It's not your turn, but I'll guess it. Tywin Lannister.
No, I think I get that.
I think Gerald gets that one.
I disagree strongly.
So Kevin has 7. Gerald has 1.
I've lost.
Go ahead.
It
Yeah, I was
doesn't
gonna say,
matter.
is he statistically
How many
able?
points did Gerald get for the last one? Because first we said 1, and then you said 5.
No, he got 5.
Okay.
He got 5 for the last one.
All right, then Gerald wins.
It's over.
It's over. Even if he gets all
Yay!
11, he can't win? Well, I mean, he already didn't get all 11, but... Is that it? That's all? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm trying to recapture things that
Walder
there's like 97.
Frey,
That which again is after the
Rorg,
Rorge.
you're right.
He didn't say the original. He just said who's on her hit list.
Yeah, I said there are 11. Yeah,
Again,
the
but
11
after
names.
she kills people, she takes them off her list. So that
Yeah, but this includes the people that are dead.
Anybody
I mean,
who's made the list.
yeah.
that's not what he said. That's not what he said.
All right. Well, everybody else seemed to understand what I said.
I'm sorry, but I am not a fan. I thought these questions were awful.
Gerald, yay!
Awful.
Kevin, you disappointed me.
Oh,
Sorry,
because
guys.
you would have been able to answer any of those. Steve, would you have been able to answer any of those?
A few of them.
I don't know jack squat about what's going on.
I will recall back to our planning meeting where Kevin said, I need you to make them as hard as you can because I know everything about Game of Thrones.
This is true, and I
can we
really
roll
tried
that
to not.
Yeah, I wanted it to be a trivia answer. I didn't want it to be if you get this many right, you get this many points. If you don't, you get this many. I feel like I'm in 11th grade regional history class.
Hey, it was
again.
really
I
close.
wanted to give you. What was the final score?
30-47.
Gerald had 35, Kevin had 32.
Yeah,
That's
there we go.
amazing.
There
That
we
was
go.
a great game.
Yeah, but
did good.
everyone's gonna hold it in my face that Gerald wiped the floor with me again.
I like the structure of it, Nick. I did.
All right. Well,
well,
Gerald, well done. Nick, thank you for that awesome game.
Why don't-
Thanks, Nick.
Why don't we just quickly? How many donuts has everybody eaten? Since apparently that's
All right,
not
we should
a
just
thing.
count how many we have left.
Okay,
crap.
that would make sense if we counted at the beginning to see how many there were
We're
at the
assuming
beginning.
that there's
There
the
should
same
have been
amount.
20 in each one.
Yeah, should have.
Mark has to skip 2 because I ate 2.
Yeah.
Quickly, come on.
I got 14 left.
I have 10 left. But like what Nick said.
Well, yeah, I mean, you still win.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
All right, so Brian will be punished outside of the show. This has been the season finale. Oh, what is going on? He's bludgeoning.
I'm finally escaping.
What happened? Find out next season on Game of Thrones. Or what's it called? Boys and Nerds.
This isn't Game of Thrones, Kevin.
Boys and Nerds. Bye. Check out the podcast on YouTube and Facebook.
I got stabbed.
You're dead. Shut up.